The XRP Launchpad is being built now, and it is up to us on the retail level to bring in as much attention and liquidity as possible to build out this foundational launchpad for XRP to take off when the institutional liquidity does arrive. Now, when is the XRP institutional liquidity going to arrive? Well, we've been hoping and praying and doing all the rituals to try to get XRP to pump from the banks and the institutions. In the meantime, we've been left dead while all these other coins are getting an explosion of activity. Is there something we can do? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. And I'm going to show you guys that even the traders that aren't XRP maxis, aren't XRP hypesters, they can't deny the pump, the explosion, and their own words, the explosion for XRP that's around the corner. So let's get right to it. If you appreciate our updates, please make sure that you like this video. Help me out by sharing it out far and wide. And everything is at ZachRector.com with some quick links down below. Let's get started right away here. We are looking at a market that is pumping. You know, we saw Bitcoin back up to 77,000, new all-time high. Crypto feeling good, right? The vibes are really good. Taking a look here, zoomed out, you can see after chopping sideways all the way since that March all-time high, Bitcoin finally breaks out. And here we are in price discovery as we speak. Ethereum finally breaking above 3,000, getting some significant pumps coming in here. I'll delete this move that we made a while back now. Now, you can see here for XRP, we're climbing as well. We're not getting left behind. I know some people are suggesting that. That is absolutely not the case here. But per usual, right, Bitcoin leading with the dominance. Now we're getting liquidity spread to Ethereum. And next, it's coming to XRP. And the breakout, the technical analysis that you can see from anybody who's not biased will recognize what's about to take place for XRP. As I record this update, it's 3:13 on the West Coast, 6:13 Eastern. What we're seeing right now is that XRP is pushing towards 56 cents once again. So things are looking really good for cryptocurrency. I'll talk more on that later. In regards to the current events, here we go. Let's get it started. Thousands of protesters and immigrants are marching, protesting of Donald Trump's election as the 47th president of the United States of America. By the way, Trump did just get Nevada. We're still waiting on Arizona. Absolute crap show taking place in Arizona. Just an absolute joke. But in the meantime, Nevada's for Trump. The election has already been given to Trump. And we got a protest underway here in New York today. And we're going to see these across the country. This is just the start. And I hope that these people just remember to protest peacefully. We don't want to see any escalation. And we want to, you know, as they said in their own words, we want to see a peaceful transition of power. Now, in regards to that, what's happening right now is that the Trump trade was already priced in. And now we're seeing the final stretch of that Trump trade. Why I remain cautious is because I'm still worried about this whole, you know, they say it's going to be a peaceful transition. Okay. They've said a lot of things and a lot of lies. And so I remain hopeful and I continue to pray for this country. And I hope that, you know, we can see this through. But I remain cautious because I know how the enemy plays. They're getting exposed. And I think that they're the type of sore loser, the type to burn it down in the process of handing it over. So I'm being careful while I remain so bullish on where we're heading. And I'm going to show you the fundamental reasons why we're starting to see Bitcoin in price discovery, gold's already gone into price discovery, and XRP comes next. It's because inflation's not going away, and the only solution now at this point, is the inevitable more money printing. The Fed just gave us another 25 basis point rate cut, and when Trump comes in, well, then we open up that can of worms, which has everybody worried. This has sent the bond markets, the yields have gone up because people don't know what's going to happen. Is Trump going to run these high deficits because we're going to tack on tariffs? But, you know, we're going to drop taxes. What's going to happen? Is Trump just going to write off this debt? I think that's really what has the bond market spooked on the tail end, right? You know, if you're buying a 3-month T-bill, well, you're probably going to get paid back that T-bill's, the balance in 3 months, plus your 4% or whatever that rate's at right now. The problem is on the tail end. The 2 years already spiked, the 10 years up about 25% since that Fed interest rate cut on September 18th, the first Fed rate cut, we've shot up 25%, meaning that the bond market's calling BS on the Fed and the situation that our government is in. Now, I love these headlines from Bloomberg here today, front page of Bloomberg. US inflation progress gets harder in last mile down. So remember, we're close to winning the fight against inflation. We're almost there, but it's getting a little bit harder now. And I love this. US inflation probably moves sideways at best in October, highlighting the uneven path of easing price pressures in the home stretch towards the Federal Reserve target. Inflation probably moves sideways. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It ticked back up. Technically speaking, I'm going to be that a-hole that says, technically speaking, it did move back up. It didn't move sideways. It did not move sideways. Now, did it spike? No. But once again, the trend is not your friend if you work and save US dollars, because inflation's not done. It's not going away. And is Trump even going to care? When he comes in, I have a feeling that he's just going to fire this thing up, because in the end, we're going to write it all off, or at least a large portion of it, which is why I don't want a 3-month, a 2-year, a 10-year, or any sort of treasury bill from our government right now. Thank you. I'm good. You can keep it, right? I'm going to continue stacking these assets with fixed supplies that are in very high demand, and that demand's increasing. I'm going to show you that here shortly, that are a hedge against stupidity, and stupidity from the central banks that have messed this one up once again. The Fed now into a rate cutting cycle when they didn't beat inflation. And Bloomberg wants to throw softballs and say that it probably moved sideways. No, it didn't. It moved back up. Inflation's not done. The inflation fight's not over. Now, did we get close? Sure. We're still a ways away, especially at core. Core, which strips out food and energy, is still at 3%. We didn't even get close to the 2%. And what's happening right now, this is what everybody's seeing. The projections are coming out. U.S. government spending is set to reach $13 trillion in 2029, according to IMF estimates. I don't know if that was before or after they, anticipated the Trump victory. Does that include Trump? Because I'm telling you guys, I don't think that Trump cares about this national debt. I think that he's going to work to address it, but is everybody going to get paid? Maybe pennies on the dollar. I don't think you're getting a 1-to-1. And that's why everybody's spooked. Nobody knows what's going to happen here. And the IMF estimates are already taking us to $13 trillion in government spending by 2029. That would be almost double the amount seen in fiscal year 2024, which came in at $6.8 trillion. We are running record deficits. Even though our tax collection's actually at record high, we're collecting record taxes, we're just still spending way too much. It's simple budgeting. Just like the same budget that we all do at the end of the month, like real citizens, we have to budget. We don't got to necessarily balance the checkbook anymore. Maybe you guys still do it that way. But, we got to check our budget. Make sure we're within. Not over here. And so this is exploding. To put this into perspective, prior to 2008, government expenditures were 3 times lower. Meanwhile, the U.S. posted its third largest budget deficit in history last month, reaching $1.8 trillion or 6.4% of GDP. This is not a sustainable path. How do you express your frustration and concern with our U.S. government and their stupidity? Well, I'm not shorting the dollar, but I'm expressing this opinion. I'm expressing this view by being long gold, silver, XRP, and other fixed supply assets with incredible utility, especially in a new financial system on a level playing field. Currently, total federal debt sits at a new record of $35.9 trillion. We're about to cross 36. And remember, what's the long-term plan here? When accounting and figuring out that long-term plan to account for the over $120 trillion of unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare. That's not part of that $36 trillion. Now, this party's just getting started, folks. Tavi Costa. If or when this line is crossed, it should have a profound macro significance, in my opinion. Gold is increasingly becoming the optimal alternative for central banks to improve the quality of their international reserves. It's becoming increasingly the optimal alternative for government stupidity. Despite being at record prices, here is a reminder that back in 1980, gold made up 70% of central bank assets. Today, it still sits below 20%. In my opinion, this creates potential long-term demand for the metal as these large monetary authorities are compelled to strengthen their balance sheets amid the ongoing surge in global debt imbalances. Now, this was the topic of discussion in today's Discord weekly call. it was what I called a lesson in liquidity. I also included some XRP meme coin alpha, because with the memes, we're learning a lot about the liquidity, right? And how there sometimes is a lack of liquidity when you invest in a meme coin and you get rug pulled. But I started out this morning's Discord weekly call by talking about gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then XRP. And the main point that I was making is that for gold, there still is new liquidity coming in at all-time high price discovery, because it's the optimal alternative for central banks to improve their quality of reserves. And so they're still stacking, they're still adding. The sell-off that we saw in gold after the Trump victory was based off of an assumption that World War III was going to be done. We were going to have peace. And it is retail selling, and it is basically traders selling. Paper traders, the paper derivatives of gold, those are the sellers. It's retail. We're seeing the same reports come in from our dealers that we work with. I got them linked up down below if you're looking to get precious metals. And they all tell me the same thing that we're seeing across the country. For every one buyer of gold, there's 3 sellers. For every one buyer, there's 5 sellers. Retail is selling gold at these prices, right? These are folks that have bought $200, $300 per ounce gold. They're taking profits. You know, nice 10x on gold. Nice time to take some profits maybe, right? So I get that. Times are tough. You sell off some gold. Makes sense. The only other people that are selling, though, are the traders. And that's paper derivatives that control these markets. So that's what brought down gold. Who's still buying? Who's been buying since 2100 new all-time highs? There's a reason why we went from 21 was the new all-time high to 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And now we're going to be at 3,000 here in no time. Why? Because central banks and institutional buyers are still arriving. They're still bringing in new liquidity. And that, on my lesson in liquidity, was the point that I made on gold. And then when we move on over to Bitcoin, this is where we start to see that the order books are getting thin. Now, thankfully for Bitcoin, they really need to thank Wall Street, because Wall Street's saving the day for the Bitcoin bros. See, the Bitcoin bros are trying to find somebody to sell off their bag to, despite them all saying that they're going to hodl forever. Yeah, sure. And they're finding that exit liquidity through the Bitcoin ETFs, which brought $1.4 billion worth of liquidity, and that was on Friday. Or, sorry, that was Thursday. This tweet was put out yesterday. All right, so $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin was bought by the ETFs, the highest ever since launch. This is the liquidity that's coming in while Bitcoin goes into price discovery above 75,000. There's very few retail folks that want to. I mean, obviously, retail is coming in right now. We saw the Coinbase, the search. If you look at the activity on Coinbase and the other exchanges, Google searches, new Coinbase users spiked this past week, and the searches on Google for buy Bitcoin, buy crypto, it all spiked as well too. So retail comes in. This always happens. Retail comes in at the top, and normally they're providing liquidity, exit liquidity for the early insiders that got in, most of the time institutions. Now, what's happening this time is the institutions arrived late compared to retail earlier investors in Bitcoin, which is a saving grace for those that are trying to, offload their Bitcoin bags at 75 and 80,000. Because basically it's only Michael Saylor, some of these other Bitcoin guys, Max Kaiser, he's probably still buying. Even he's probably looking for exit liquidity too. I don't trust any of these guys. And then the ETF activity is really saving the day. Now compare this with Ethereum. They got their ETFs. I think that we tracked about 60 million of inflows into Ethereum on that same day. So Bitcoin bringing in $1 billion, Ethereum only bringing in 60 million. But the point being is we are just now getting the ETFs for XRP, right? So who's going to buy our bags of XRP at $5 and $10? A limited amount of retail is looking to buy XRP at $5 and $10. But if retail, retirement accounts, 401ks, pensions, and institutions can finally start to get some XRP exposure through the ETFs, then they will be buyers at those levels if that's where we're at. Which brings me to the point that I wanted to make in this video is that we are building out this launchpad right now. This is why I'm trying to hustle the XRP memes. Yes, 99% of it goes to zero. People will get hurt. That's what happens. Is it worth bringing the attention? Is it worth bringing the users and the activity? I believe it is, because this is what we can do, is we can establish a launch pad for XRP before the institutions arrive. See, if the institutions come in and XRP's still at 50 cents, then yeah, institutions are going to come in and we're going to go up in price, but we could be going up even further if we can bring in retail liquidity right now, right? There's tens of billions of liquidity flowing on all these other blockchains in meme coin activity. XRP has an average daily volume of about 685 million, according to the Q3 market report from Ripple. For the past 90 days in Q3, the average daily volume of XRP was 600 million, not even a billion. There's 10 billion worth of liquidity flowing around freaking memes. So yes, does retail liquidity take XRP to 589? No, never was going to. That never was the plan. But I want to see retail at least get us to a base of $5 XRP, $10 XRP. And then next year, when regulations get set, the case is behind us, and all of this liquidity starts to come in, XRP ETFs go live, we've got a base build, a launchpad build of $5 or $10 XRP. Well, then that's what takes us to $20, $30, $40, $50 XRP and beyond. So let's build it up now. And this is what I'm talking about, where it's undeniable. Even those that don't want to hype up XRP, 360 Trader right here. You're tired of XRP because the Yeet zealots been bull posting every day for 3 years. And, he would probably call me a Yeet zealot. Somebody who hypes up XRP every single day. But why do I do so? The fundamentals are there. The technicals are there. The hype and attention is coming right now. And I know folks say that we've had all this attention. We've had a lot of attention. We have. In crypto, we've gotten a decent amount of exposure. A lot of it's been misinformation, though. That's the problem, is that 99% of crypto doesn't even know the XRP ledger has a DEX to trade NFTs and memes and every other asset that gets tokenized. Nobody even knows that we have a DEX. So don't tell me that we've been getting attention. Attention that matters. Attention that actually is going to move the needle. We've been getting a bunch of lies and misinformation spread about XRP. The broader mass, the masses barely know about crypto, and if they do know about crypto, they probably don't even know about XRP. Those that are in cryptocurrency, they don't even know that XRP has a DEX. They don't know that we have NFTs, AMM, all this other stuff that's coming right now. But even those who aren't completely biased and are willing to be honest with themselves, they can't deny that a pump and an explosion is right around the corner. He says, you're tired of XRP because the Yeet zealots have been bull posting every day for 3 years. But you can't deny the price pinch occurring right here. It's 1,000 days long. 1,000 days of suppression. 1,000 days of getting beat up by misinformation, disinformation, lies, FUD, delisting from exchanges, doing everything that they can to beat up XRP. Lulling you to sleep. Now I'm telling you, the explosion is coming sooner rather than later. This is somebody who's not a hypester, not a clickbaiter. You can call me whatever you want. You know why I have so much conviction. It's based off of fundamentals. It's based off of real documentation, partnerships, and adoption, and now exploding attention with institutional DeFi about to be set free. After we get these additional amendments that are in the pipeline right now, institutional DeFi gets set free. And all I'm saying is, in the meantime, let's get every Joe Blow schmo who's going to the crypto casino anyways and moving $10 billion worth of meme coin liquidity around on a daily basis, come play on the XRP ledger. I just saw today that Solana was down once again. XRP ledger hasn't gone down once in the past 10 years. So come join the party, come have some fun, and help us build the base right now. Now's the time to get excited about XRP. Look at Brad Garlinghouse, for crying out loud. How could you not be bullish after you've seen Brad Garlinghouse get fully activated after the Trump victory? For crying out loud, the CEO of Ripple, one of the leaders within our community, is part of basically the Trump transition team, effectively. And you are not bullish? Even if you are bullish, are you bullish enough? You guys let me know in the comments down below about my thought process here of building this launch pad from retail liquidity, building a base of $5 to $10 XRP before the institutional liquidity comes in. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Help me out by sharing it out far and wide. And everything else is at ZachRector.com. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.